Hello, my name's Al Rebo. I live in Mindarie, Western Australia, and I play a whacker, an English baritone concertina. We were asked to do a song that's a memory for us, and this song, I'm Looking Over a Four-Leaf Clover. I grew up in north central Ohio, and this song was played on a television show for children, often, by a character called Barnaby. Barnaby was supposed to be an elf that lived in an enchanted forest. There weren't very many enchanted forests in Ohio back in those days, so it was kind of unique. Barnaby was actually a man called Lynn Sheldon, and Lynn was a producer at the station. He played Barnaby for over 20 years, so in the Cleveland area was quite famous. He would play cartoons, tell stories to kids, and on his ukulele, he would play this song often for us. And so I thought I'd do it as my memory as a concertina player. I'm looking over a four-leaf clover that I overlooked before. One leaf's for sunshine, the second's for rain, third's for the roses that bloom in the lane. No need explaining, the one remaining is somebody I adore. I'm looking over a four-leaf clover that I overlooked before. I'm looking over a four-leaf clover that I overlooked before. One leaf's for sunshine, the second's for rain, third's for the roses that bloom in the lane. No need explaining, the one remaining is somebody I adore. I'm looking over a four-leaf clover that I overlooked before. Well, Barnaby would always end his show by saying this little, I guess, good wish or catchphrase. I don't know what you might call it. But he'd always say, if anybody calls, tell him that Barnaby said hello. And tell him that I think you're the nicest person I know. So, if anybody calls, tell him Al said hello. And tell him I think that concertina players are some of the nicest people I know and some of the most creative people I know.
Hello everyone. This song that we're going to be doing for you today brings back memories for us because it was the first song we ever learned.
And it is a sad song, but it is also joyous since everyone meets up in heaven.
And it's called Will the Circle Being Broken.
Hello, I'm Hilary Johnston and this is my trusty squeeze box. A few years ago, my wife and I took a cruise to England on a ship called the Athena. It was had been called the Stockholm when it was built in 1948, and in 1956 it ran into the Andrea Doria in the middle of the Atlantic and sank it. Since then it had been refurbished, but it still wasn't anything like a luxury cruise ship. However, it did have room under the bunk for a bicycle on my squeeze box. So we went to Portsmouth and stayed there for 3 weeks while our rallies came and visited us. And then my wife came back to Australia and I jumped on the bike and went off to Ireland. My idea was to cycle around, and these are small enough to fit in a bike. So I was going to stay in backpackers and play at sessions in the pubs. This I did for a couple of weeks, and I was in a backpackers at Ennis when they told me there was going to be a music lesson that evening, and I thought that's great. So I turned up at 7 o'clock as advertised. Nobody else did, but that's not unusual in Ireland, and after a while they all turned up in dribs and drabs, with the teacher carrying a bottle of elderflower wine, something which was new to me. We tasted it later. Anyway, he asked us each to play our favourite tune, and I decided to play Vincent Campbell's Mazurka. And while I was playing it, a couple of the ladies who'd been playing tin whistles jumped up and started dancing. So after the tune was finished, I asked them, what was that all about? And they said, oh, we're into Shan-Os dancing, something else I hadn't heard of, and we love to dance to mazurkas. So that's why we danced this one. So now I'll give you Vincent Campbell's Mazurka as best I can. Thank you.
I live in Brisbane, and I'm going to share two memories with you today on two different concertinas. First up is my lovely AE Tassie Tiger. So this one isn't actually a memory yet. At the time of filming, this gig is a couple of weeks off, but by the time you watch it, it will have happened, and it will be hopefully a very fond memory. I've certainly had a lot of fun preparing for it. So you've probably heard of the Salty Sirens. You've probably seen them at a festival, or at least seen their name in the program. They're a duo in Brisbane, and they do sea shanties and stuff. They dress up as pirates. It's pretty cool. And so they have a monthly shanty club, and they've invited me to be the special guest this month, which is just such a huge honor. I can't even. And I won't play any of their special pirate shanties or anything, but one of actually a couple of the songs have just some tunes following them, and I'd like to play some of those. The tunes that follow two songs specifically. One of them I've added a few tunes on because I'm a Morris dancer, and so I've added some Morris tunes. So it's Horses Brawl, Drops of Brandy, The Upton Stick Dance, Constant Billy, William and Nancy, and Black Joke. And the other one is just one tune. It's Colin Charlton's Reel. I'm not using this specific button box in that gig, so it will all be a little bit imperfect, but I hope you enjoy it. Page and Colin Charlton's Reel.